Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. I am Gloria, aka Laboon Like, and today I'm going to give you a quick pattern review for Vogue 1635. Okay, so I am recording under not ideal circumstances. It is evening. I'm in the hotel room. I know the lighting is a little bit off, but I figured let me get this out to you guys real quick and then I will grab my food. I wore Vogue 1635 twice already, and I want to make sure that I give you guys another review. So, real quick up top, I received this pattern in exchange for my review from Minerva.com. So you can go over there to see a review specifically made for Minerva. They have this pattern on their site. There are lots of places where you can get this pattern, but if you're outside the US specifically, you might want to hop on over to Minerva. It's going to be a good place to get these big four patterns. And yeah, okay, let's get into it. I have my item here. I'm going to be popping up video and pictures of me wearing this make, and I'll be looking at my computer to just get the prompts. So first things first, this pattern is a top and tunic, kind of like a sweater top and tunic with a stand-up funnel collar and a zipper going all the way from the collar down to the arm. I hacked the pattern, and we'll get into that later when I tell you what pattern alterations. So I made it as a dress slash layering piece, and I might change up a few things in the future, but we'll get there. As for pattern sizing, I believe that this pattern just goes extra small, small, medium, large, like that. And I made the medium, the largest size in the smaller size band. I don't remember what measurements it gives you, the finished garment measurements. There aren't many of them. Naturally, there's not a hip measurement because it's not meant to go really past the hips. I think they do give you a bust measurement or a waist measurement. I don't know if they give you both, but here are my measurements, and I'll give you an idea of how this item fit me. It's a loose fitting garment. And especially if you make it in a stretch material, you got a lot of wiggle room with some of the sizing that we have here. The first deeper question, did it look like the photo or drawing on the pattern envelope once you were done sewing it? I did hack this pattern, but the elements that were the same, yeah, look just like the pattern envelope. I will say that it's pretty true to the pattern envelope. I like that Vogue, especially in the newer patterns, generally sticks with photos of real people wearing the clothes, and they give you a lot of different angles. I think it's a really, really good indication of what the item is going to turn out like. And I made my few changes, but it's still pretty much stuck to the same level of fit. The way that the collar stands worked out the same way for me. Depending on the fabric that you use, if you follow the recommendations, I think you'll be right on with the way that the pattern looks. Were the instructions easy to follow? Yes, this is a beginner pattern. I am confident in saying it's a beginner pattern. This style of zipper is easier to put in than a lot of other styles, and it gives you a lot of room for, there's a lot of wiggle room for making mistakes, and it'll still turn out like a beautiful garment. Because, let me actually start like holding up pieces of this. Because you have an exposed zipper and it's intentionally and thoughtfully exposed, you don't have to really worry as much about like getting it just right so that none of the teeth show, and this piece just has so much of this zipper tape showing or whatnot. I I think it's easy to mask mistakes and for them to not even bother you, even if you didn't get the thing to turn out the way you want it to. I don't think it'll really bother you here. I think that this was a really simple garment to sew, especially if you use a stable knit. You might not have to really finish certain hems a certain way. It'll still look nice on the inside. That's something I get annoyed with wovens in Big Four patterns. They have you not really finishing the items nicely on the inside. With knits, and specifically with stable knits, even if you just do a nice clean cut, this will still look nice on the inside of the pattern. What did I particularly like or dislike about the pattern? I don't think I have any dislikes. Um, yeah, I don't have any dislikes at all for this pattern. I think I just wish they would give you more finished garment measurements in general. And I recognize that maybe they can't always give you the bicep and the but they could have given bust and waist for this one. I just appreciate more finished garment measurements. I would have loved to have a bicep measurement. That would be really, really nice in this situation, but we didn't get that. What I like about the pattern, I love that it's incredibly hackable. There are a lot of different options of things you can do with this pattern. I like the uniqueness um, of this zipper going from the collar down. It gives you a really interesting bold neckline. And I think some people, depending on the fabric that they have, don't really like it as the funnel collar, but I think it looks really good as a funnel collar and it gives you a lot of different options. I think this item is giving like understated elegance, and I really, really like that about this pattern. I think it's just a beautiful pattern, especially because I don't necessarily always have high expectations for the fashionable side of some of these big four patterns. I think even if I hadn't hacked this item, it still would have been a beautiful, understated, elegant piece of like smart casual wear in my closet. So I like that. What fabric did I use? I don't know the composition of this fabric. I mean, I'm sure there's that it's synthetic. It might be like 100% polyester, but it is a soft, um, single but stable, thick, stable cable knit or imitation cable knit because it's actually not knit. So it's just ribbed. I don't know exactly what I've got here, but it's a medium weight stable knit fabric that does have a slight bit of stretch, but the stretch doesn't really matter in the end. It is just a bolt of fabric that I got from a friend a while back. I either got it from a good friend or from the thrift shop. I don't really remember where I got it and I don't know what it's made of. So I'm not super helpful, but here's what I can do. I can get a little bit closer so you can just see what it's actually looking like. So this is what I've got. This is the inside, medium weight, stable knit fabric. Okay, moving on. The pattern alterations, let me just set that down there. The pattern alterations and design changes that I made. I didn't change anything in terms of the fit measurements. What I did is I added about 10 inches just straight on the bottom. I didn't add it at the cut line to lengthen or shorten. I added 10 inches down from the hem and I inserted a zipper from the notch under the arm all the way down to the end of the hem. And I had planned on doing the other side as well, but I made this item to wear when I was going to see Wakanda Forever. So I made it as part of my all white outfit and I was like finishing up pieces like right up until 30 minutes before we had to leave to go see the movie. So I realized I don't have enough time to insert this other zipper the way I want to. I'm just gonna sew straight down this seam. And I came back and put a few like little finishings in other places. I didn't have enough time to do the hems on the sleeves or the hem down at the bottom. And I think I could keep the hems the way they are, but I'll probably just fold it over or fold it under because I do have interfacing showing. So I'll just fold the interfacing under and hem it there. I was getting worried about these sleeves being a little too short for me. My arms are longer and some patterns tend to be a little too short for me, but these sleeves worked out. So yeah, besides making the sleeves longer because I just didn't do the hem yet. And the only other things I did was adding a zipper into the one side seam, and I plan to come back and add a zipper into the other side seam just so that I have an option of ways to wear it. So the zippers and added length, that's the only things that I changed actually here. Otherwise, it's the same silhouette, just elongated. And then would I sew it again and would I recommend it to others? I probably won't sew it again because I don't keep a big wardrobe. If I kept a bigger wardrobe, I might sew it again and change the line so that it does come in and out a little bit more and shows off my curves a little bit more. Um, and in that case, I might make it as a top or a tunic instead. But I don't think I'm gonna sew this again just because it's so distinct and now I've got this one in my closet. I definitely recommend it to others. I think this is a great pattern to have. And I take it back. I might sew it again and hack it again. I might take out the zippers completely and make this a long sleeve sweater top that I maybe take in at the waist a little bit so that I give myself a little shape. I could see myself absolutely doing that because this is an easy make that finishes really, really beautifully. So absolutely. And then my conclusion, Vogue 1635 is a good pattern for beginners and a great way for you to get something elegant and casual out of the same item. So highly recommend. Follow those fabric recommendations and you really can't go wrong. You could start this on a Saturday morning and have a really nice garment at the end of the afternoon. So yeah, go for it. I hope that you enjoyed my review. I'm gonna run off now and go eat some food and chill out. Until next time, peace.